All these flipping Facebook posts. David and Debbie May checked into Heathrow Terminal 3, flying to paradise. No one cares. And your relationship won't last. That's what I tell myself anyway, to make myself feel a little bit better about the fact I'm not jetting off on lovely holidays and boasting about it online. Then, to make myself feel even better still, I like to sink deeper into my lovely warm hate bath and think about all the disastrous romances in video games. I mean, even the ones that don't technically end in heartbreak are built on a foundation of trauma. Ethan and Madison from Heavy Rain, I'm looking at you, fumbling about on the floor when there's a kidnapped child that needs saving. But most of the time, these virtual hookups are only going one way. Down the drain. Here are 7 video game relationships that were always going to end badly. First up, we've got newlyweds Yuna and Seymour from Final Fantasy X, a marriage that was cursed from the outset really, when you consider she only agreed to it so she could secretly investigate him for the murder of his father, and he only got into it so she could summon him as her final Aeon, therefore fusing him with Yu Yevon, becoming the new Sin, and destroying the world. Imagine sitting down and having that talk 6 months down the line.
Seymour, where is this going? Well, Lady Yuna, I see our future entwined with the fate of Sin.
It's not just me, is it? He does sound like an evil Winnie the Pooh. Thankfully, it never comes to that as things go from bad to worse at the wedding itself. Yuna already preparing to punch Seymour in the guados before the vows are even finished. Her guardians then turn up, the groom delivers a heartfelt speech.
Kill them.
What about thanks for coming? Before the bride leaps off the top of Bevelle and lands safely on a soft bed of summon magic. If I was a marriage counsellor in Spira, I'd be raking it in. Seymour then spends the next 20 or so hours transforming into various floating monstrosities and attempting to murder his wife and her friends, which is A, a really bad way to enact his plan, and B, really bloody annoying when you keep having to break off from Blitzball so you can level up enough to smash him. Although poetically in our final encounter I finished him off with a Blitzball, so that restored the karmic balance a bit. Anyway, Yuna and Seymour, I know you didn't really like each other to start with, but flipping heck, that is one disaster of a relationship. Next up, we've got Otacon and Sniper Wolf from Metal Gear Solid, a relationship that never really got off the ground if I'm honest, mostly because I'm not sure Wolf reciprocated any of poor Otacon's feelings. All we know is that he's hopelessly in love with her, and that she's, and I quote, really nice once you get to know her, she even let me feed her wolves once. Aw mate, she is totally into you. And you can see why a highly trained master sniper would fall for a trembling otaku nerd who stalks about in a stealth suit and wets himself in cupboards, can't you? Oh wait, no you can't. Poor Otacon. He's a hopeless romantic with nothing really to offer unless you're the type who finds the construction of bipedal nuclear death tanks a massive turn on. Plus there's the fact he's helping Snake, whose mission puts him in direct conflict with Wolf. It's like a modern day Romeo and Juliet. 2 starstruck lovers on opposing sides. Well, one starstruck lover anyway. And then Snake comes along and shoots Sniper Wolf to death.
Goodbye.
I'm sorry, Otacon, it just wasn't meant to be. Next up, we've got intergalactic love magnet Commander Shepard and poor old Kelly Chambers, a young Normandy crew member who's completely taken with the Commander, only she doesn't even have a loyalty mission to complete, so against the rest of the team she's got no chance. It doesn't help that Shepard shamelessly flirts with Kelly, doesn't matter if you're playing as Fem Shep or Man Shep, the option is still there, leading her on to the point where, if you play your dialogue wheel cards right, she'll come up to the Commander's private quarters and stay up late. Shepard's a one, isn't he? I'd play as Man Shep, because at this point he was 3 dialogues deep in his quest to romance Miranda, but he still can't help himself, even though he knows it's going nowhere. Yes, I know technically these were all my decisions, but there's no escaping the fact that pursuing a relationship with Kelly, while you're also knowingly worming your way into the affections of Miranda, Jack, Tally, Garrus, Jacob, Thane, whoever it is only going to end in tears for the poor yeoman. But what if you pursue Kelly and only Kelly? If that's the case, Shepard is treated to a private dance in his quarters after the suicide mission, which is nice and romantic, isn't it? I mean, this definitely looks like it could be the start of something special. The Reapers are back, destroying them and saving mankind is definitely going to fall on Shepard's shoulders. There's totally going to be time for loads more of this. I give them 2 months tops. Next, yeah, it's Metal Gear again, I know, but I've not included it for ages, so I'm double dipping. And you can't stop me, especially since we only filmed Dave doing the tally up to 70, so what are you going to do? Anyway, the next relationship is Naked Snake, aka the original Big Boss, and Eva from Metal Gear Solid 3, a romance that blossomed through adversity as both characters are physically and emotionally tortured throughout the game's 25 hours. You live that journey to the very last stage of the game, a slow trudge as a seriously wounded Eva struggles to keep pace while you try and make good your escape. You've wanted them to get together this whole time too, so much that I even got those nervous new relationship butterflies as they got closer and closer. Like during this not at all weird scene in a cave where Snake's just had his eye shot out and is eating his gourmet jungle cuisine while Eva crawls about in her underpants, but you know, Metal Gear. To cut a long story short, it turns out Eva was a triple agent, lying to both Volgin and the Cobra unit, and Snake himself as she makes off with the Philosopher's Legacy, a ridiculous amount of money, for her actual employers, the Chinese government. Eva! I thought we had something together. There was still something there though, wasn't there? It's that classic story of, oh okay, I'll spy on this person, but I won't get too close to them. Oh whoops, I've trodden in some love there, can't get it off. And despite the fact this relationship was always doomed to fail, it's nice that Eva was the surrogate for Big Boss's clone children, wasn't it? Yeah, happy families. Next up, we've got Geralt of Rivia and Keira Metz from The Witcher 3, a ruggedly handsome warrior with a gravelly voice and a nice beard, a willful, beautiful sorceress who asks quite a few things of Geralt. Not all of them fetch quests, if you know what I mean. To be honest, I never expected anything serious from this relationship, considering neither party seems particularly committed. Plus, there's always the Yennefer and or Triss factor. But you go along with it, don't you? Because in The Witcher 3 you sleep with everyone, that's just how it's played. What I didn't expect, however, was for Keira to then make off with the mage's notes I just helped her obtain through that not inconsequential side mission on Fyke Isle. That was an entire evening of ignoring the main story, Keira. I can't believe you'd betray me like that, he says, laying naked, having just betrayed Yennefer. There are lots of ways this can go after she makes off with Alexander's notes, not all of them nice. In fact, it's even possible for Keira to die if you really mess things up. But personally, I convinced her to come with me to Kaer Morhen and help in the battle with the Wild Hunt. So it all turned out okay in the end, actually, not a disaster. Oh look, she loves Lambert now. There's a running theme here, isn't there? No good comes from igniting relationships from a place of dishonesty, and so it proves with Desmond and poor old Lucy from Assassin's Creed. Now, these two meet early on in the very first game, Lucy posing as a Templar under the employ of arch-villain Warren Vidic, when actually she's an assassin who's there to break Desmond out, which she waits an entire game to do. So at the beginning of Assassin's Creed 2, you break out of Abstergo with the help of Lucy, and you learn she can run and jump and fight just like an assassin, and hey, so can you through a mysterious condition known as the bleeding effect, where Desmond picks up the physical abilities of his ancestors through prolonged exposure to the Animus. It's a neat little scene and hints at the start of a blossoming romance between the pair. They share a bit of banter, they punch some bad guys. I'd call that a positive first date. Then along comes Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, where Lucy, Desmond and the gang locate a piece of Eden hidden beneath the Colosseum in Rome. This is so exciting, you think, hurtling towards the narrative revelations that await every time you interact with the mysterious first civilization and any of their objects. And also thinking, I really like Desmond and Lucy together. They make a really neat couple. Oh well. Yeah, it turns out Lucy was a Templar pretending to be an assassin pretending to be a Templar, and not an assassin pretending to be a Templar all along. Otherwise known as a Templar. And so it's another case of a relationship built on dishonest foundations crumbling into dust. It was never going to work, you guys. Sorry about that. Our final entry has to be the most dysfunctional relationship in not just gaming history, but of anything ever. Joker and Harley Quinn are sort of perfect for each other in that they're both clinically insane. Apparently she was originally his psychiatrist, but instead of curing him, he did that to her. But really, if clinical insanity is what your dating profile is matching you on, then you probably shouldn't be seeing anyone, let alone each other. We simply don't know where to look with this relationship. One minute it seems like they genuinely might actually like each other, if either of them is even capable of the emotion of like. The next they're screaming and being violent and betraying each other, and yeah, it's not good. Then, to top it all off, Arkham City spoilers inbound by the way, Joker prevents any chance of a happy ending by getting himself killed at the end of Arkham City. What a bummer. It's okay, Harley, I'm sure you can continue being a crazed, violent nutjob without your precious Mr. J. See? It's almost like this is easy for you. And there we go, 7 video game romances that were always destined for disaster. Can you think of any others? Let us know in the comments. Like this video if you don't want our relationship to end badly. And please do subscribe if you haven't already for more of these videos every Friday. Thanks for watching.